Okay, I think I've solved the majority of all of our issues that we're ever going to have ever again.
Okay, perfect.
We will never have an issue ever again, ever in the history of the world. Because this is BSFW Podcast, Season 3, buddy.
Season 3.
At Backside Attack.
At Vic Sabe.
Oh, my goodness. Reading a book.
Yes, I read through that very briefly while you were in the washroom.
You surprised me because I thought you had actually read it because you were talking about characters I hadn't heard about.
Yeah, I said, I always do that. But
Jack Kane.
You got to read this book, man. Really? I'm like, well, one of us has to because I didn't read it.
One of us has to because I went to the middle and I read a couple names.
I just read one name. I'm like, Morning Jack Crisp.
Jack Crisp. It's about wrestling. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge wrestling fan.
You are a huge wrestling fan.
I'm not the biggest that in my circle of people who watch wrestling.
You're the biggest in my circle of people that I know.
I could see that.
Yeah, you're the biggest.
There are definitely a few that are bigger than I am, and I always enjoy talking to them. We don't have them around nearly enough, but I do like talking to them. But this one is kind of about, it's more as if Vince McMahon was not the son of Vince McMahon Sr.
Yeah. And
if it was just a dude who just like got into the wrestling game, stayed under the radar, was not a big name by any means, and then just took over. And it kind of starts there. And I just kind of read a little bit of it in the bookstore there, and I just picked it up. So I'm just starting. I'm like 10 pages in.
Okay. How much was it?
Like $14.
Oh, that's not,
Yeah, I mean, so $14 for a book is nothing. No. But it's such a grabber. And in the old Gene Hackman phraseology, the Get Shorty, it's a grabber.
It's a grabber.
Check it out, it's a grabber.
Him with those false front teeth.
Here he's him.
Those read-on teeth.
Oh, my God. So wild. But I just like the idea because wrestling has always had this kind of feel for us growing up. That like growing up, we kind of thought it was real. And then as you get older, you realize it's all bullshit.
Oh, yeah. It was our soap opera.
It was our soap opera.
Yeah.
And then as you get even older, it becomes, for me anyway, it's watching high-level stuntmen do high-level stunt work.
Yeah, because then you get past the you kind of get past the wrestling because because when we were kids, it was all about the drama, like the characters, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't about the wrestling. We were like we would marvel at the same time sometimes, but we were more like these guys are like we just fell in love with the characters, right?
Oh yeah.
But now it's like I can't name a character that I love, right? It's more about like you appreciate the work. The work.
The work is phenomenal.
Exactly, because back then you didn't know like what Rick Martel had to go through to jump off the ropes and like.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, we didn't know the behind the scenes shit. We knew nothing.
Well, no, I mean we didn't know how much went into the actual the beat by beat backstage storytelling.
Yeah.
The Gorilla Monsoon on the microphone with Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
Talking about what's going to happen, who's doing what.
Yeah.
Like we had no idea that was even going on, and now that we kind of know, now that we know like the work behind the work.
Yeah.
Like the actual work. For those wrestling fans who know the phrasing that we're using.
Yeah.
The terminology. That it's all kayfabe. Mm-hmm. But once you realize what's going on behind the scenes, and this seems very much about that. There's a great, like the book starts off with just this like insane truck flip, a van flip.
Yeah.
And a dude does not know where he is, but he knows that he's got two wrestlers that are in the van who should not be seen together because they're going to fight each other for a title.
Yeah, and one of them is missing his foot or something.
One of them is missing his, like right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
He pulls him down the street, and he's struggling to pull him down the street because that guy's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And this dude, Lenny, has no idea why. He's not getting it. He's not understanding what's going on because he has a concussion because his car is flipped over. And the guy's like, nobody can see us together, man. Like, I'm supposed to get murdered by that guy later. He's pulling him away from the car, and he notices the guy lost his boot. He goes to pick it up, and he's like, this seems a bit heavy. His boot is significantly heavier than it should be.
Yeah.
His foot's in it.
Yeah, exactly. I like the cover. It just has the Statue of Liberty and as the torso, and then the rest of it is just like wrestling tights and on the legs. And
it's got to be Ric Flair, though, right? That's the big gold belt.
Yeah, that's Ric Flair.
That has to be, because that's like the classic big gold belt.
I don't know. I kind of wish, who got more fame? Shockmaster.
The Shockmaster.
Yeah.
It just never worked out. I mean, you fall through one wall.
Yeah.
And lose your helmet.
Misplaced 2x4 and glittered a Stormtrooper helmet, and next thing you know, you're on the streets.
The worst part about the whole thing, I mean he was a superstar because that was Tugboat or Typhoon.
That was Tugboat.
Tugboat.
Yeah.
I mean he was a superstar on the rise at WWF, and then he just tripped over a bad 2x4.
Yeah.
Like somebody just nailed him 2x4 too hard.
Just forgot that he left it there, and then staying
or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, and Ric Flair is just standing there with like 5 just idiots who are just yelling at each other, who are just has-beens,
trying to act like it's the greatest entrance in wrestling history.
Yeah, he's there with 4 has-beens, and then you have Booker T.
And then was it Booker T?
Yeah, Booker T was there. Right. And then he just says, and he's gonna shock the world because he is the Shockmaster. And then That's actually one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty bad.
Like I saw like Bill Burr and Patrice O'Neal and they were
Hinchcliffe, right?
Yeah,
because Hinchcliffe breaks it down for him.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I think Patrice O'Neal was breaking it down for him.
Was it him?
Yeah, it was him.
Right.
And then because he just loves that clip so much, and then after I watched that, I was like, the initial part when he falls through the door and then when he scrambles for his helmet is the funniest thing. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I think right there they all. I mean, because there are great moments in wrestling when bad stuff, like things that don't work out, like a goof or whatever happens, doesn't turn out the way it's supposed to happen, and somebody in the ring just has the common sense to just make it work differently.
Yeah.
And if they had just played it off like this is all a big goof, whatever, we like to bring in the shock and take the helmet off, don't do all that kind of crap, and just goof it off and turn him into a goofball character.
Yeah.
They could have maybe gotten away with it.
Yeah, that's the storyline they should have gone with.
Yeah.
To be like, this is the not the shock master, here's the buffoon, the clown master,
here's
whatever
the clown master.
But they still committed to it. Like Psycho Sid was still going crazy.
Oh, he was losing his mind.
Yeah, he lost his mind. And
he's doing that classic Psycho Sid thing where he kind of pretends to pull his hair and freaks out.
Yeah.
Stares at him real hard.
Yeah, and he's just going, oh man, that got committed to his character.
You know, Psycho Sid, if I remember right, I can't remember exactly because I really wasn't into the guy too much, but he was like a softball legend.
Yeah.
The guy was like an Olympic level softball player.
Yeah, he was I remember he was an elite athlete. Like he was so tall. He was like 6.
He's big. I mean, he was probably like 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". He's a big dude.
Yeah, long legs, just built like steel, right?
Well, that's why he broke that thing.
Yeah,
the top rope jump when he broke his ankle.
Yeah,
well, he broke his shin.
We broke his shin. Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, so yeah, he's man, his character was crazy. Like it was like, well, I mean that literally, but like
he was a psycho.
Yeah, he was a psycho, and he played it so well. So
well, I mean, even like especially when he was Sid Vicious in WCW. Then he came over to WWF and he was Psycho Sid, and he was straight up psycho.
Yeah.
It was terrific. All those big dudes back then, you felt like they were just monsters. Like I remember when Zeus showed up. When Zeus was going to fight Hulk Hogan.
When Zeus showed up, I feared for Hulk Hogan's life.
Yeah, we were little kids, and we were just freaking out because Zeus seemed so crazy.
Yeah, I know. And then that's when No Holds Barred was coming out, and we're like, holy
that's where he came from, right?
And I was like, oh my god, this guy's he's gonna kill Hulk Hogan.
He's come from the movie to murder Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan was like, he was like our Optimus Prime. He was like, I just we thought he was I honestly thought he was gonna kill Hulk Hogan.
Okay, fun fact: I've never, even as a little kid, never been a Hulk Hogan fan. But for sure, when Zeus showed up, I feared that somebody's gonna murder the greatest American hero.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think like out of the '80s wrestlers, right? '80s up to like '90, right?
Okay.
Who was? Name your favorite.
Of all time?
No, just in that period.
In that period. For me, it's always been a toss-up between Macho Man and I like Ricky Steamboat because that match was awesome.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant. I mean, I think as a little kid, I was always a huge Andre fan.
Yeah.
I liked Ultimate Warrior, but when it comes down to who your favorite was, it was always hard for me to pick between guys like Macho Man and Andre. Huge Macho Man and Andre guys.
Yeah, I'd say Macho Man or...
And obviously, you find out like Bret Hart. Not find out, but you've got Bret Hart, and you find out that Roddy Piper's a Canadian.
Yeah.
So you just default to those guys, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I think I would go with I think I'd have to go with Macho Man. He was my favorite because he was just like you see him, it's like I just expected greatness out of Bret Hart. I was like, okay, that guy's awesome. He's technical.
He's our guy.
He's our guy.
You just like him by default because he's our guy.
Because I liked him from a wrestling standpoint, right?
Yeah.
I liked Macho Man because of his craziness, and I like Mr. Perfect because of his arrogance.
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's I think it's a Survivor Series, but he does a move where I just can't remember exactly who he's fighting. He puts his head between his legs for what you assume is either a power bomb or something, and he just spins his body around like he's gonna snap his neck. It was like when you look at it, it's so goofy, but the sell is so good.
Oh man!
Then the move is so weird that it's just amazing. Because Mr. Perfect was perfect.
Yeah, friend of the show, Sandy. He does that move. He does that move on people all the time.
The twist?
When we were kids, yeah.
Put your head between the legs.
He called
like 180 your body.
Yeah, he called it the throat breaker.
It is a throat breaker. It's insane. I'm so happy that's a real thing that he actually did that.
Oh yeah.
In as a kid because he saw it on wrestling.
Yeah.
That was this amazing Mr. Perfect.
Every time if I was sick or something, he'd be like, "You want me to give you a throat breaker?" He's like, "Trust me, this will heal you."
It'll heal you. I'll fix you up with a throat breaker.
Yeah, it got me more sick.
Mr. Perfect was great. I think that era of wrestling, personally, for me, was the most fun. Like it was phenomenal. There wasn't all the whole TNA yet, but you still had the really like strong male wrestlers. He had some really good female characters. Moolah was still kind of
Fabulous
relevant.
Moolah,
Fabulous
yeah.
Moolah. Awful human being in real life.
Oh, just a wretch of a woman.
Just a horrible human in
Yeah.
real life. But I mean, it was in the game in the cartoon, right? Rock and wrestling.
Rock and wrestling.
I mean,
Rock and roll
Lou
wrestling.
Albano was in there.
Yeah.
There was so much cool
Captain
shit.
Lou Albano with his goddamn rubber bands.
Yeah, rubber band's embedded into his cheek.
Jeez.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, it's yeah, I think that was and
The
I think that-
Superstars video game.
yeah, Superstars video game, the arcade.
The arcade.
I have that game
Oh, yeah, on the emulator.
on the emulator. Oh, I played that game a lot.
It was maybe the best looking characters in video games ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like when you had the character transition from like the real life into a digital counterpart.
It's a great game.
It's exactly. It's
Yeah.
a fun game too.
I remember we used to go to Red Robin's, and that'd be in the while you're waiting for your table.
Mm-hmm.
But you either play that or you play Simpsons Arcade.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
Simpsons Arcade, and you hope you get somebody who's going to show up and put a quarter in who knows what they're doing.
yeah, exactly.
So you're not just
I think Marge.
carrying their
Yeah,
ass.
I think Marge was the best with that. She had that vacuum cleaner.
And didn't she do like a head whip too? Right? Like her hair would hit
Yeah, her
somebody.
hair would whip and she
Yeah.
would hit somebody.
Yeah, Homer. I was always a Homer guy. That and Turtles. I remember being a Michelangelo guy in Turtles.
Mike, in that one I would do because in the Turtles 2 Turtles in Time on NES, it didn't really matter which turtle you had because it didn't matter because like the length of their weapon didn't make a difference.
In Turtles, in number 2.
In number 2, right?
Yeah.
On the arcade, same thing, but it's like I just always chose Raphael. Like he was my
I was always a
Okay.
Raphael guy.
yeah.
I was always a Raphael fan, but I never liked him in the arcade game. I always felt like I couldn't get the side to do what I wanted to do.
Oh, just because of the positioning of
The
where
positioning of
yeah.
how he was, like it always felt like it wasn't quite catching. The
Yeah.
collision detection wasn't quite there with it.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the what's it called? The katanas. Leonardo was awesome in that game. And Michelangelo's fun as hell.
Yeah, I think I think overall, yeah, I still say that Raphael's still my hands down my favorite Ninja Turtle.
Oh yeah, in the
Yeah.
movies, in the game.
Yeah, I go
all that.
Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, then Michelangelo.
Do you watch Ray Donovan at all? I think we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Incredible family drama. It's fun. But who's the guy who played Raphael's voice and the guy in the cab when Raphael
Oh
jumps
yeah,
over?
yeah. That's
Josh Pace.
Josh Pace. Yeah.
He plays like the best scumbag in Ray Donovan. Just like a scumbag lech of a producer. What a great character. That guy, I'm surprised he didn't get more work after watching how he is in that. Like he could have gotten so many more great scumbag roles in Hollywood.
yeah.
What a great
That's true.
scumbag.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Man, so how's your week, buddy? Well, how's the last few days?
Good. Just recovering from a little back injury.
What'd you do?
I don't think I did. I'm just
Oh, just in general.
yeah, because I have like my back is very arched. Like it's
Alright
like
then.
yeah, because like
Like a sexy arch or like
Oh, no.
those
You know, like-
Forrest Gump back like a hook.
no like you can have a high arch on your foot.
Yeah.
I have a high arch on my back.
Oh God.
So like when I sleep on my back, it's like arched, and so I don't sleep flat. So my lower back is actually hurts. So
You know what you got to do? Stop sleeping on your stomach.
and yeah, stop sleeping on my stomach.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, but sleep on my stomach.
No, what you not got to do is not sleep in your stomach.
Yeah,
I'm just giving you
I
common
don't
sense.
I don't sleep on my stomach.
I'm just giving you like
I
a
sleep-
Captain Obvious level advice.
Yeah, I sleep on my sides, on my side. But like
that's a good call.
yeah, so but yeah, it was just it was hurting, but yeah, other than that, yeah, I went to Orange Theory, and then
That's really working out for you, huh?
yeah, I like Orange Theory a lot. It's good.
Well, I like the idea of Orange Theory. I haven't done it yet. We talked about it last time, but I do like the idea
I can get you a free week if you
oh
want
my
to try
God, no, I probably won't be doing that because, like I said, I like the idea of Orange Theory.
Just
but
try
I
it.
don't
Why
like
don't
the
you
actual
try it?
practicality of Orange Theory.
Why don't you try it?
I'm terrible at going to gyms, like weight training or physical training gyms, where you go and get told how to put your feet and stand up and do all that kind of stuff.
Oh no, Orange Theory is the easiest gym. It's so easy.
Well, I mean, because it's on a rail, right? Like you walk in there essentially, and you just get directed the entire time. Like
No,
you're
they'll,
on a
yeah,
rail the whole time.
they'll ask you like when you walk in, they'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" They'll be like, "Okay, do you want to start out with treadmills? Do you want to start out with on the rowers or whatever?" Right?
Okay.
And like you just be like, "Okay, I'll start on I'll start on the treadmills, right?" And you go on the treadmill, you just follow the lady will like, "Hey, okay, take it to this," and they'll walk you through everything. It's very
Okay,
straightforward.
here's my question: when you go to Orange Theory, is there a row of say 12 treadmills and a row of 12 bikes and then a row of 12 people standing in a line doing knee kicks?
No.
Like, is it just? It's not
No,
that.
no, it's like no,
It's in my head,
There's
that's
like
what it
a
is.
row of treadmill so everyone can get on it.
Okay.
And then you just go on there and you just go on until the person says, yeah, just keep going to this.
All
okay,
right.
go back to base pace. Walk for a while, then run again, and you just do that on and off. and you switch between that and the rowers.
All right.
And then after that, the half class, then you switch to then you go to the floor exercises. And
Now I should not a sponsor of the show at all.
no,
they're not
no,
paying
no,
us
not
money.
at all. No,
But
they're not giving us anything.
I mean, it's nice to hear they're not like that. I always assumed they were. That's a joke. Nobody pays us shit because we're not that kind of podcast.
No.
But I was always under the assumption that it was like karate class. Like you go in, they're like, all right, line up in a row,
Oh,
people.
no.
It's like somebody's way too hot.
Oh no, it's like everyone there is super friendly. They'll be like, if you don't know what
Nobody's overly fired up.
No, they encourage you. They'll be like, you're on the tread. It's anyone. If you have half a brain, you can do everything there.
So I should be fine then.
Yeah, so you just go out. You decide where you want to start on first, like the treadmill or the rower, and then you just go. You start with one of them. You go through the exercise, and they tell you, and then you go to the next one, which is go to the treadmill. Do that for how many minutes or whatever it is, and after that you transition to the floor, and after the floor, then you do the exercise that are on the video. She walks you through every exercise, or he or she walks you through every exercise,
right.
and then after that, 50 minutes and you're done.
15 minutes.
50 minutes.
50 minutes. All right.
Yeah, 50 minutes, and then after that, at the end, you're drenched.
Well, that's pretty cool. I always thought you went in and it was like a straight up karate class.
No.
Like it's like there's 20 people in there and you go for like a 3 o'clock class, a 3:15 class.
Oh no,
it's going like circles.
You're just it's a very positive atmosphere.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
everyone's very friendly. If you don't know, if you have any questions about the exercises, you'd be fine. Like you just be like, excuse me, am I doing this right? And they'll be like, yeah, just make sure that you're doing it this way. And once you do it, they're like, yeah, good job, that's good.
That's a lot. That's less disturbing than what I had in my head.
Yeah,
in my head I thought it was something very different.
Yeah, and there's one just south on 50th Street, and
yeah, it's not far from here.
Yeah, it's like
Ellerslie Road's got
it's 5
one,
minutes away from here.
Yeah, it's not too far.
So
it's a nice run.
Yeah, I would try it out. Just I can get you a free week if you want to try it.
Well, I might take you up on that. I very likely will not, but I might take you up on that. I mean, and it's got nothing to do with the concept in my head at all. It's just I don't know. I've always had a hard time going to a gym. I mean, I like the fact that I've got all my weights here. I've got more weights I can lift. I've got a little machine. I've got my treadmill. I've got everything I need in my little home gym. I can just train when I want to train.
Yeah, this is good because it's good circuit training.
Yeah, it's really good circuit training.
When you're at the end, you'll be like, this is that was a lot of work. If you just fit into 50 minutes, there's no wasted time or anything. Which
is good too, because I mean, again, having the stuff that I've got here, you do end up getting into a rut that you have to make sure you remind yourself to get out of. Like I've got a calendar that tells me to train differently, and over there they kind of do that for you.
Yeah, they switch it up all the time.
Yeah, they've always got like a different routine set they're gonna put you into for that day.
Yeah, like every day is a different workout.
Oh yeah, that's kind of neat.
It's a different workout. Yeah, so you'll be doing. Depending on, they might switch up the times. They might extend the rowing. They might extend the running. So depending on, is it an endurance day? Is it a strength day? Is it a Hell Week or whatever it is? Like,
oh God.
Yeah, so like it's Halloween, so that's why they have Hell Week right now. But yeah, it's anyone can do it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, even like the other day I was there, and there was one lady. She was pretty overweight, and she it was her first time there. She was like.
That's gotta be pretty daunting.
It is, and it was her first time there, and she was like noticeably overweight. And so she was doing, but the trainer kept like going up to her and saying, "Are you okay?" Just making sure that you're doing okay. She's like, "Yeah, that's good. I'm doing good." The exercises are very simple. It's just a matter of like how long and how hard can you do them, right? Or like what's your intensity and how long can you keep up that intensity, right?
Well, it really looks like that Biggest Loser gym.
Yeah, and the thing is like too, if you're going hard and stuff like that, if you feel like it's too much, just dial it down. And so and you don't get blamed for that at all. No one checks like your levels. Oh no, you have to turn that up a little bit. No one does
Get
that.
to orange.
Yeah,
a-hole.
Yeah,
like,
so
oh, God.
I had that at one gym and at one of the Orange Theories, and I stopped going there because I'm like I avoid that lady. And but she was at the end of the session, she was passed out. Like I thought she was dead.
Oh God!
Or like she was passed out at least. And I was like, oh my God! I looked. I'm like, I pat her on the back. I'm like, are you okay? And she goes, yeah, I'm just dead. And I'm like, so I said, but then the trainer was like, guys, give her a hand. Like that was awesome. And then it's a very positive atmosphere.
That's pretty cool, man. I do like that. I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know old friend of the show there, the old Doug there. He Doug there. It's a very Canadian way. He's like, old friend of the show there, Doug there.
Good old Doug there.
He goes like Snap Fitness or something. And it's just, it seems like every day he goes in, and he's the kind of guy who he needs to vent a little bit if he sees something that really like irks him. So he tends to shoot me a text about some dude wearing a pink jumpsuit with like too tight pants and too small legs.
Yeah.
Just taking videos, taking photos of himself in the gym. Like that just seems to be the environment the gyms are going. Like that's the biggest reason I don't go to gyms anymore.
Oh yeah, for Orange, you don't have time for it because you're just like you just want to get rid of. You just want to get done you want the exercise to be done.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so you're just
I
like
the
you're
idea of
doing, and at the end they'll ask you like look at the person next to you, just give them a high five and be like that was, and you look at them and then you're like
look to your left.
Yeah, you're like because you're just going. The thing is you're going through the war together.
You're in the trench. Getting bombed.
Everyone there is dying.
The Germans are on the horizon.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone there is just dying. So you're just like sitting there. You're like, oh my god, how much longer do I have to row for and stuff. And then you look to your left, and there'll be like someone there, and be like, oh, once you're done, you'll be like, you're just like, well done, good job. And your water bottle is always going to be empty at the end because you're just going to be drinking like tons of fluids. And if you're not sweating by the end, you know that you didn't put the work in.
Yeah, that's I can't shit on that.
Yeah,
I mean it's really hard to crap all over something like that. Yeah, the idea of that camaraderie and working.
It's the best work. It's the best workout I've ever done.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And I'm totally cool with that.
Even like my cousin I go with, he's a gym rat, and he works out a lot. He's very muscular. He's huge, and even
he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast, and he says he's like Orange Theory is the best workout.
Is that me?
Down. I think so. Yeah, I get it on my watch.
I don't even know what my phone is anymore.
Yeah, so I would recommend it. I would recommend trying it. I'll say that.
I am. I always feel like I'm being super insincere when I talk about that place. So I'm like, oh, really, that's good. Good for you. That's good for you. That's awesome. I'm glad you like it.
It comes off like that.
Yeah. That's it was really good. I know it does. Like I feel really bad because in my head, I genuinely want you to feel like
you're kind of being an asshole without even knowing it.
I don't want to be condescending, but I can't help it. Like I feel like I'm being super condescending about your gym.
It makes me want to stop talking about it.
No, you should totally talk about it. The thing is, here's the deal. We talked about it last episode. I am just my default settings to be cynical and just shit on things that really.
Oh yeah, you're the greatest asshole I know.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm super interested in how the place works. I'm inputting information into my head.
Yeah, I think it would be good for you to like get outside the bubble.
To get definitely it definitely would be. Yeah. It definitely would be better for me to take because I do train in the same styles of what you're talking about, the Orange Theory stuff. I like to research exercise, like to learn new ways to do things. Like I said, I remind myself consistently on my phone. It's always like every 16 days, 17 days, a note comes up to ask me, hey, are you doing it differently this week? How are you doing it differently this time compared to last time? And I'll analyze how I'm training to make sure I don't fall into the trap like I did last year or 2 years ago. I just messed my back up.
Yeah.
And for the last 25, 30 years of working out, how that kind of contributed to the weird state I found myself in a couple years ago where I was seized up. I couldn't move properly.
Yeah.
And now I'm very conscious about making sure I'm looking at the European guys, the volume training guys, the strength building guys, the German trainers.
Yeah.
Just to see what they're doing. And I think that kind of falls in line to that. And I think it would benefit me in a learning way to go to a place like that and see what they're doing, at least for the 2 weeks or whatever it is to go get my brain set.
Yeah, and like, if you want to go, like I can go with you and we can just train together.
The buddy system?
Well, we can just go for like, I can give you a week.
I need a pal.
Yeah, and just I can get you, I think, what is it? I think it's like 5 sessions. We just go together and it's 1 hour and you're out.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I appreciate that. I would probably take up on that sooner than later.
Yeah.
There are a few things I want to get back into when it comes to training too. Like I know, like one of my cousins, he's getting more and more into jiu-jitsu again. And I just dropped it like a couple years ago when I threw myself out. I stopped. I'm probably going to pick that up again. Yeah. But it's because of the camaraderie. I love that type of training. And I love the camaraderie of those people. It seems like a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
I really miss that from the kickboxing. Not doing that so much anymore.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do more of that.
Yeah. There's
I feel like Orange Theory's got a lot of that.
Orange Theory's like, and potentially if you're outgoing and stars fall in line, it's actually a good place to pick up people.
God, I knew it. I friggin' knew it.
I mean, like,
sooner or later.
That's just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, the sooner or later with you.
Yeah, because everyone is. The reason I say that is because everyone is there for the same reason. Yeah. So you can share the battle stories. You'll be like, yeah, this is why I joined, or whatever. And there's always like
gross.
There's always something nice to look at. Yeah.
Gross. Yeah. Did you talk a lot about your PRs?
Oh no, you just say
your sets, my reps.
Oh, you just say like it's always a good place to say like, hey, how's it going? Blah blah blah. Like
I noticed you were hitting a lot of PRs today.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a great place. I love it. I love going there.
Gross.
Yeah, because before I would just hate to I'm like, oh god, I go to Orange Theory today. It's like another hard work. And now I'm just like, oh great, Tuesday, can't wait to go.
What we have talked about in the last I would say from like this year for the most part. Even say like for the last year, starting this time last year, you've really changed the way you work out quite a bit.
Yeah, it's good to it's good to mix it up because like there's workouts you do at the gym for strength training for like if you hit the weights, work on flexibility, you get into your routine, and then I think you owe it to yourself to try something different.
Oh, you totally do.
Yeah, so that I think that's what this is because you could take a look at that. You could try it one time and just you realize that what there's exercises there that what I never even thought about doing. Like let's say there's there's kettlebell exercises, right? That I just do that I do there, and you might even just pick it up. You're like, oh, I never noticed this before, right? And you can just steal that and then just come home, pick up buy kettlebell.
Yeah, you add it into your
and just do those
repertoire.
Yeah, and just do those thrusts, and you're like, at least I learned something from there, right? So.
No, you're absolutely right. That's a great point. There's a lot, and I think that's exactly why I would do it if I was going to do it.
Oh yeah, like even like myself and my cousin Jazz, we just even when we go to the gym, like the regular gym, we do exercises that we got from Orange Theory.
You incorporate that into what you're doing.
Yeah,
I mean that's how your body grows, though. If you look at a lot of the old school guys that we used to train with in the late '90s and early 2000s, I was really getting into heavier weight training.
Yeah,
back then. There was a way I trained at home, which is super basic. Like you just did bench presses, you did squats, you did some deadlifts, and then even your shoulders. They're all linear movements, up and down and up, front to back and down.
Yeah.
Like it was all rigid shit. And then as you got older, you found all the guys you're training with. That's what it was. They were just doing this rigid stuff. Where it's just like left, right, up, down, 90-degree angles, and then all of a sudden training starts to change little by little. And we went to well, I'm not going to name the gym because I don't know if they want us to, but I went to a fancy pants gym with a buddy of mine who is one of those dudes who's been doing sports medicine. He's a personal trainer. He was training with like Olympic level athletes. Pretty well known in this fancy pants like section of the gym world in Edmonton. A lot of guys knew him. And we were just kind of making fun in a condescending way of these kids who were like in new sports, like sports athletics. Hockey and badminton. They were doing weird stuff like putting their legs inside the little pulleys when you go to the gym and just doing weird leg movements, and we were making fun of all that crap. And now that is like the Orange Theory CrossFit style of working out. I mean, try not to injure yourself by doing too many of those weird ass chin-ups that the CrossFit guys do.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there is a way that working out has trained that has been more beneficial to the way that your body actually moves around.
Yeah, that's true. It's like there's
it's not just muscling weights around to show people how strong you are.
No, it's all about like incorporating exercise that because you only have 50 minutes, right? So like you want to make sure that you fit in as many exercises as possible that work the most amount of muscles as possible, right?
All your stabilizers and everything.
Yeah, so like there's just compound exercises that work like that work back, shoulders, maybe like, and they work at least 3 muscle groups for every exercise, right? They'll be like the last workout I did on Friday, I believe, was it was Thursday. It was an endurance day, and so 5 exercises on the floor for one circuit was all burpees.
Oh man,
done 5 different ways.
I already just talked about this.
Yeah,
the burpees, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. But then but what they do is, okay, this is what you have to do. And they explain on the video. Then they're like, okay, if you can't do that, they show you like an easier version to do that. If you can't do that, then do it this way. So they make sure that you can do it to your level. If you try, go hard on the first type. You can't do it. Do a modified type. If that one hurts you, then do the ultra modified type. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they fit in as many exercises as they can to make sure that you get the ultimate benefit from that 1 hour, right? Because it's very easy to go for an hour workout, go to the gym for an hour, and waste time, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's so easy, right?
It's the easiest thing to do.
It's the easiest thing to do, right? You talk to your buddy, next thing you know, an hour passes, and you're like, oh, you know what? Okay, maybe we should work out now, right? That's 2 hours. You spent 2 hours there, but you got like 50 minutes worth of workout, right? Orange Theory, you're there 50 minutes, you got a 50-minute workout.
That is a good idea. Yeah. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, and you're out of there.
Then you're done.
Yeah, and if you have any questions whatsoever, you just at the end of the session, you talk to the trainer like, yeah, you know what, I'm hurting here. What do you think I should work on here while I'm not here? And they'd be like, yeah, when you go to the gym, maybe like if you felt you're weak here, these are the exercises that you should do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Because I mean that is the number one reason why I think I don't train with a buddy in the gym is you waste so much time.
Oh yeah, like they have free weights there. They have like the bands there, so you have to do pull up, do those boot camp pull up exercises. There's
they got the TRX.
Yeah, they don't have a TRX, but like they do.
I'm just saying,
yeah, but they have like
buzzwords.
they have everything you need there.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That
And,
is some pretty cool
and
stuff.
if you want, you can shower there. You can do like if you get ready there. It's a full facility, which is good.
That's neat. I will definitely try not to sound condescending about it.
No, it's too late.
anymore.
It's too late for that.
Yeah, that ship has passed.
Exactly. I don't even know why I'm
that
talking.
ship
I
has-
don't even know
ship
why I'm
has
talking
sailed?
anymore.
Huh?
I don't even know why I'm talking anymore.
No, I think it's completely fine. You are talking about it because it is it's something that's interesting to you. Therefore, it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
And that's part of what the podcast is all
Yeah.
about.
If you don't go to Orange Theory by the end of this year,
Yeah.
I'm gonna set the podcast on fire.
Just drop a match.
No, I think I'll just swear
Gasoline.
more.
Yeah, just swear more and kill all of our wonderful, wonderful YouTube monetization now that we're on YouTube again.
Exactly. So, but yeah, you got to try it once.
No, definitely. It's like broccoli or Brussels sprouts. You'll learn to love it.
You'll learn to love it. Yeah.
Or a hateful, angry, terrible wife.
Yeah. If you don't love broccoli,
You'll learn to hate
blend
her.
it.
Yeah, blend it. Do you blend your broccoli?
If I'm making,
soup.
Well, if I'm making broccoli soup,
Yeah, you're making
yeah.
soup. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big broccoli blender. I like fresh green broccoli.
You can blend it though.
I'm sure. I know you
Yeah.
can, but I don't really like cooked broccoli. I'm not a cooked broccoli soup. I do like, but I don't like steamed or cooked broccoli.
Yeah, I love just making just fresh broccoli soup. And just have it with some goat cheese or something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's very.
With some
You've
walnuts?
just made it fancy.
Yeah.
Are you blending the walnuts into the broccoli soup?
No.
Just walnuts
Just
on top.
you can just break them up, or what I would do is make have some boiling water, put some broccoli in there, and once you're done, throw the broccoli into the blender with the water you boiled it in, so like you don't waste the
You
water.
get all that water,
Yeah.
juice, the taste, the
And
flavor.
and keep the water. That's a stock. That's a broccoli stock.
People just throw that shit out,
That is such.
and it blows my mind.
I know it's such good. It's so good for you. Just keep it.
When it comes, well, I don't mean just like broccoli, but the stock in general.
Yeah.
When people throw out the water they boil their chicken in,
Yeah.
the water they boil their vegetables in, all that stuff is what you're paying money for in a carton when you go to the grocery store to get stock.
Yeah, I know.
And it does not have MSG in it.
Yeah, exactly. So I would just do that, and then just and once you've done blending it, just season it to your liking, and then just I always buy goat cheese. I buy those rolls, and if you have you had ashed rolled?
I
goat
have
cheese?
had every kind of goat cheese that you
Yeah.
can think of.
So just like put that in the bottom of a bowl and put some broccoli around it.
Yeah,
and
that
put
does
the
sound
broccoli soup
delicious.
around it, and it melts, and it just tastes. It thickens the soup. It's so good.
Goat cheese is phenomenal.
Yeah.
There was time as a little kid when you thought goat cheese and like I could never drink milk or eat cheese from a goat because it's weird.
It's weird, but now when you try it, goat cheese is like it's so good.
Yeah, it's maybe one of the best cheeses out there. There's a people who only have like Kraft slices, which is not cheese,
No,
or they get the marble cheddar, which also is not cheese.
no, that's for like if you're making like nachos or something.
Yeah, it's fine for nachos,
Yeah.
but really, it's there's nothing really to it. Who was that? Did you hear about? There was a chef. Was it here in Canada or somewhere in Europe? I don't think it's somewhere in the States. He got mad because the Michelin people or somebody said that he used cheddar, like just regular old aged cheddar, in one of his dishes.
Oh.
And he just lost his nut. He's like, no cheddar. Cheddar is for swines
Yeah.
and people who don't know how to cook. For the schmucks and the losers out there who don't know how to make food, use cheddar.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's, which is not, I'm
Yeah,
not saying that.
cheddar's for your own personal kitchen.
It's for your own kitchen, man.
Yeah.
But it's for like a low palate type of person. You just want an impact of flavor on your mouth that means nothing.
Yeah.
Because you got a very shallow palate.
Yeah.
But he got really mad about it because he's like, no, I was like Gouda or something. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was goat cheese. The people who were eating it didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah, like I for broccoli soup, I'd use Gruyere, ricotta.
Ricotta's pretty good on pizza,
Yeah,
homie.
exactly.
I've been
So-
doing it a lot lately.
Yeah, I'd say those two. And honestly, even though it's like it's really thick, I like mascarpone. It's like it's just I could eat that stuff all day.
I could just feel myself getting fatter.
I know. I haven't had it in so long, but like
It's like the whipped cream of cheese.
it is.
It's so tasty.
Making a cheesecake, you got to use that shit.
Yeah. Well, definitely in cheesecake.
Yeah.
You know why your cheesecake tastes like crap? It's because you're not using mascarpone in your
No.
cheesecake. You got to add a little bit of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was at a shooting a party last weekend, and they had a bacon cheddar, like a bacon and cream cheese dip. And I couldn't believe I was eating it. I mean, it was like the little bites that you were having. It was essentially bacon fat with bacon in it, made into a thick dip that you could dip a chip into and eat.
Oh.
And just wrap your mind around that for a second. What that is. I mean, you're giving yourself all the tools to have the greatest heart attack of all time, but you keep eating it.
Yeah, that's true.
Cheese, man.
Yeah, I'm
Have You've been what's that?
I've been doing really good on the diet thing.
Yeah, you've been pretty good.
I don't eat any garbage.
What did we were just talking about in our little thread there? What did you say you ate? And then you had the worst, the BMs. The BMs were giving a little bit of grief.
Paleoathletics.
That's right.
Yeah.
The
paleoethics.
Paleoethics.
Greens, yeah.
The greens. How did that go through you? Pretty hard?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so it cleans you out pretty well.
It's great. You just take it. I take it. It's the first thing I drink in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might mix it. I might take a shot of I might put in a shot of apple cider vinegar with it.
All right.
Just to flavor it up a little bit because it has no flavor. It's flavorless.
It's pretty
It's
pretty dry.
Yeah. So like when you
grainy stuff.
So I had that this morning. So I put some apple cider vinegar in it, and I put some lime juice in there as well, and I just shot that down full glass, and then I have a green juice that with like. It's just all vegetables and like everything green.
I mean, the color is green. It's tasty
it's like
stuff.
Kale, spinach, green grapes, celery, cucumber, and some green grapes and some liquid chlorophyll and some water. So I just make that green. I have a glass of that, and then after that, I'll wait. I'll take a shower or whatever, and then after that, then I'll have my breakfast, which is like just a smoothie.
You're just like packing in the greens first thing in the morning. That's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I actually got that from Batman Begins. Remember, as Bruce Wayne, first thing he gets up and he has that green juice.
The big green thing that Alfred gives him.
It is a good idea.
It's a really good idea. I mean, that's it gets your body moving.
It is.
The lime alone is going to get your body flushing out. But then all that good stuff you're putting into it with it. The spinach. I mean, all your iron is going to be boosted up first thing in the morning. The apple cider vinegar for energy first thing in the morning.
Oh yeah, and like,
jeez, man.
After those first two drinks, I go to the basement and I do my 15-minute workout, and it's just like 15 minutes of just pure isometrics. That's it.
We're workout nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's really good stuff to do.
Yeah. So and then after that, have my smoothie and then ready for that. Good to go.
Yeah. Owe it to yourself to stay in good health.
Yeah.
I was just reading an article about, not to go too far into it, but it was about the things that you eat. And are you trying to prolong your life, or are you trying to prolong your activity span, like your health span? Mm-hmm. So if you knew that, I don't know, say based on where you were in the world and the outside factors and all the stuff that you are as a human being, that you would only live to say 80 years old. Now, if that was just an average given to you, would you rather train and act in a way and eat in a way, change your diet that would let you live to 90 or like 95? But then again, that extra 15 years kind of sucks. Or would you eat and train and live in a way to where all the way up until 80, you were just a beast? Like everything you did was like you were mountain climbing, rock climbing, riding bicycles, training, wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
But regardless, at 80, I'm cutting it off, right?
Probably at 80.
I'm dead, right?
Your aim, well, I mean, not regardless, but your aim would be to make the 80 the best years. And if you get 3 or 4 more years,
it would be second choice.
Whatever.
Down. Yeah.
That would be the way to go. Instant choice would be get to 80.
Because your life up to 80 is better.
Your quality of life is so much better.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. It's like I can't remember where I read this, and it was just one of those things that kind of like hit my my news feed real quick. The idea was that, would you rather just, if you knew that was what it was going to be, but then again, like from 90 to 95, that 15 years you get is going to be shit.
It's going to be garbage. But if you work out a lot and if you focus on food as fuel, and you just you're exercising and like your gym is better, you're going and working out is part of your life. It's not something you do on the side, right?
Yeah.
It's like it just meant to make your life better, right?
It's like combing your hair, brushing your teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just something it's part of your day no matter what.
Yeah, so like that means when you're 80, you're going to be able to play with your grandkids.
Exactly.
Or your cousins' grandkids or your family. You're gonna be healthy for them. They're not gonna have to like bend over backwards to take care of you.
They're not picking you up and putting you in a chair.
Exactly, and then you don't need like assistance like going to the washroom or whatever it is. So yeah, I don't want to, because I've seen it, like I see it like days a week. Like when I go to the nursing home, it's like where my grandparents are, and you see people there, and they're around that age, like around 80 to 90. My grandparents are over 100.
Oh, and, wow!
Yeah, so
wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, so like the like I don't want to end up like that, right? Mm-hmm. So like, and then you go there, you see people with like, and you see all kinds. You see people who are old, but their mobility is it's dialed down a little bit, but they're sharp as hell.
Yeah,
they're very sharp, right? So like mentally,
they're all there.
Yeah, so like if I couldn't run like 10 kilometers if I'm 80, right? Mm-hmm. That's fine, right? But if I'm like just delegated to a wheelchair and I can't move, my legs have atrophied, and I'm like and I can't like talk to people and stuff like that, yeah, that's a huge issue. So, and you see people with like just mental disorders. Like when you walk down one hallway, you'll hear screaming and stuff like that.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah, and the one lady does it all the time.
Man,
and it breaks your heart. And then, and then you see other people who are just who have just been left there, and they're like, oh, I can't deal with this anymore, and like they'll just like, I can't take it this person, so they just
leave them.
They
there.
leave them there, right? So then I walk around and I'm like, and this lady comes talk to me. She's like, goes, someone get me out of this place. And I said, well, what do you want me to do, basically, right? And so, like, I didn't say that to her, right? But
yeah, I mean, that's the feeling.
But you're just like, what can I do for you, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, can you call my daughter? I haven't seen her in so long, right? I'm like, so she's telling me her horror story, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, and I think like in our culture, like, if that happens, if you put someone in the nursing home, right? In our culture, like you go and see them, make sure they're okay, and like you go visit them, and you make sure like everything's cool. You check in with the doctors and the nurses, make sure
you're in there 24
right.
hours a day. Like one of your family members is there all the time.
Well, yeah, we go there. My uncle, he's retired now, and he goes there for a couple of hours each day, and then I go there at 5 o'clock, and then we just make sure everything's cool. And my grandfather, he just sleeps all day, so like we just go there when he's awake.
Yeah,
between 5 and 6:30, and we just hang out with him. And yeah, my grandmother
he's over 100.
Oh yeah, and but his mind is like he has like he had a stroke, so like
yeah,
he's just
well, I mean, what I mean is like he's not going to be the kind of guy who needs round the clock.
He doesn't, yeah, and he's like he's one of their favorite patients because he's very like stress free.
Yeah,
he does
takes a lot of rest.
Yeah, he all he does is sleep. He's very polite. He doesn't want to bother anybody. People are making noise. He's like, nah, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Yeah. So they love him there.
Yeah.
My grandmother is just the opposite, where she's like, he just can't get out the words because he had a stroke. So so he just can't like speak that well, right?
Yeah.
But my grandmother is like, she's she's had her mind is just like it's not there that much anymore, right? So she's just loud and all that stuff. So everyone's like, oh, okay, just calm down. No one can control her, right? So she's the beast there. So like
the beast.
Yeah. So it's but physically she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Physically, well, she's still in the wheelchair, right? But if you have to grab something like her. Like if she wants to pick up a fork and stuff like that and do stuff, yeah, she's totally fine.
Her dexterity is there.
I know dexterity is totally fine.
Yeah, it's just she's in a wheelchair. So
exactly.
She can't go that whole run around.
Exactly. Yeah. So
her legs aren't going to be able to carry her for a mile.
Exactly, and they're on the same floor. They can see each other. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that like, but to rewind a little bit is that if you go and look at that, that's something you don't want to subscribe to. So what you want to do is to like. To come back to your point, to like, would I rather just be like at 80 and still be like walking around?
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, and just I want to be like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah, so that's if you're gonna strive for anything, that's what you should strive for.
Yeah, like you like longevity of health rather than longevity of life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
your health lasts longer throughout your life, even if you're only gonna be a certain age and you drop. At least your health is there for the whole time.
Yeah, because you can say it like this. You can say it like because we're all going to eventually die, okay? But
speak for yourself, homie.
Yeah,
300 years.
Yeah. So we're all going to eventually die, okay? But not all of us are eventually going to be healthy.
No, exactly right.
So, and there's what you can't prevent death, but you can prevent an unhealthy lifestyle.
Oh, for sure.
So why not subscribe to that instead?
That should be a goal for most people, I think.
Yeah.
Is to make sure you're healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking to, and in the same vein of that, like my grandmother was in the nursing home for a very short time. She had dementia. It got really bad at the end. She fell and kind of broke her hip, so you couldn't take care of her in the home anymore. So she was there for a bit, and we saw the same thing there. There were some people who were really sharp, and you kind of felt bad for them because they're so sharp, but their body's given up. So you would talk to them and you just listen to what they say. And I'm a weird one. Like I know Strangler talks about how my superpower is making old people feel good by listening to them for longer than I need to. I just like listening to old people talk because they have so much weird stuff they're going to talk about.
Oh yeah,
it's history.
Yeah,
right?
I like it when they're coherent.
When they're coherent,
yeah,
and they have great things to talk about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I find like talking to people who are like that, who are 98 years old or 94 years old, and they're physically like not able to care for themselves anymore. That just breaks me. Like I see that, and I think that's the bummer. I would never want to be like that.
Oh yeah.
If I'm gonna be 95, I'd rather be blissfully just full on dementia not know
yeah.
anything.
Okay, yeah. So for me, that's what. Or for me, I would be like, if that's the case,
Yeah.
if I was 95 years old, I would, and if I had full blown
With a
dementia,
body that's given up.
with a body that's given up, and I have dementia, I'd
Yeah.
be like, if there was ever like 5 seconds where I could just like slip in, like, just please
Yeah.
put me down.
Put me down.
I would say put me down.
And me.
I would in a second, and
Yeah.
I would have no. I'm like, don't feel bad, because I'm like, oh, I'm not living.
That's why wills are important.
Yeah, I'm like, don't, like, this, what this is right here is not living.
No, that's the worst.
Yeah, just cut it.
That's why, like, I know there's a lot of talk about like the people who are in those persistent vegetative states, and then there's all those like, the parents fight the husbands or the wives fight the kids, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What should we do with mom? What should we do with Dave or whatever? It's kind of like, do you really want to be there taking care of them when they're in that state? Like, I
No.
would guarantee you that if they slipped out of that state for a day and walked around, at the end of that day when they're completely coherent and walking around and physically able, they're going to ask you to put them down.
Oh yeah, of course they would. Yeah,
Because
like,
they probably know at some point that they're not moving, that they're like their mouth is open, they're staring at you with those eyes. That's not like staring at you with the eyes of somebody who's saying, "Oh, I love being the way I am." That's the eyes of somebody who just doesn't want to be there anymore.
yeah, like I would put that in a like it reminds me of that Seinfeld episode when Kramer was making his will
Yeah,
with Ben Stein.
yeah, the coma.
Yeah, the coma one. I would fill that out. I'd be like, guys, if I ever have one of these things, I'm like, yeah, just end me.
It's wild, man. I don't know. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I know people don't, and I appreciate where they're coming from. Maybe they've got different circumstances.
Yeah,
that's fine.
This is just a personal
But
choice.
it's just a personal choice. I
Yeah.
see that, and I think you got to just take me out.
I know, like it's very there's I know, because if you ever like literally walk into a nursing home
Mm-hmm.
and just see everybody, I'm like, hey, imagine if you were that person. Would you
Oh,
want
yeah.
Would you want to live here, knowing what you know right now?
Oh yeah. Do you want to be Audrey the screamer?
Yeah, I would.
In that room, just screaming at the top of her lungs all day long.
All day long. Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, and not knowing that.
Not knowing.
Yeah, and just like
Why is she screaming?
Yeah, like, and you're just hoping that the next day is the end.
Yeah.
And you wake up, you're like, shit, I'm still alive.
Oh god.
But I'm not living.
It's what's it? One. Johnny's got his gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're just,
exactly.
you don't know if you're dead or alive.
Yeah, and then you reach across, not because you're looking for your medication, but you're looking for like any sharp object to jam in your ear.
Or
Yeah.
you're like Johnny and you ain't got arms and legs and you're blind.
Yeah.
And you're reaching across because it's a phantom limb and you're not actually grabbing anything.
I know.
God, it's so
I know,
scary.
Yeah. So yeah, I would yeah, I wouldn't want to end up that way. So
Well, in more fun news,
yeah, let's switch topics.
it
move
got
on.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. The heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I know, man. I got the heebie-jeebies a little bit.
Was it Coolio Can, or is that in Mexico? Did you hear about El Chapo's kid?
Yeah.
No.
Going after Elon Musk.
No, not the Elon Musk. What? Oh, okay. Now
Yeah.
you tell me what you know.
I don't know the whole story, but I know that I think it's El Chapo's kid or something. I'm not sure who it is. One guy's son wants to go after Elon Musk.
Really?
Yeah.
It might be El Chapo's kid.
Let me check, but like actually no, I don't want to reach my phone, but like yeah, you can research that, but like I think there's one guy's son who was actually going after.
Actually,
that's gonna bother me. I gotta
no, take a look at that. I'll fill you in on what I was reading about was El Chapo's kid. Apparently, he's like the next El Chapo. He's a hardcore gangster.
Okay.
And he's just the reports are weird, right? Because the actual government out there says we were just driving along on a routine patrol, and we just came across a house that was looking kind of weird, and we investigated, and it turns out Escobar's brother sues Elon Musk. Oh, he's doing it legit for 77 million pounds. Okay.
For the flamethrower idea.
For the flamethrower idea.
That's gonna get thrown out of court.
Yeah, no, or he's gonna walk into his house, put a gun to his head.
Yeah, I bet you Elon Musk is gonna just send him $77 million worth of.
I think Elon Musk will just like power up one of the Iron Man suits that he probably already built and tell him to go after Escobar's brother there.
Yeah, that's just when I read that I was like, oh god,
That's
leave
weird.
the guy alone.
Leave Musk alone. He's
Like-
making the world a better place.
I know, like a guy who's doing it and he's setting up an American company too that's based in America. Like, why would you just not leave the guy alone? Just like he's not hurting you.
Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
And I bet you Elon Musk is probably crazy dangerous. I mean, at the end
I
of
would
the day, I
bump
bet
that
you
guy.
he's probably crazy
I would
dangerous.
thought, yeah, Elon Musk. Like, what the guy probably has, like, he has billions at his disposal.
You know he's probably into some pretty wild home defense.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. And,
Like crazy home
yeah,
defense.
And Elon Musk does not give a shit about anything. He doesn't
Lasers
care.
on sharks.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, but yeah, he's
Laser guys, velociraptors.
yeah. So yeah, don't fuck with
Leave him
Elon
alone.
Musk.
No, but this was Ovidio Guzman Lopez. And he's El Chapo's kid.
Okay.
And he's just at home hanging out, doing his thing. You know, being a gangster, probably counting piles of money and snorting tons of cocaine.
Yeah.
And the government agents there, the cops, the federales, come up in their SUVs. They try to take him, and they grab him. They snag him out of his house, and they're gonna hold him because he's a drug lord. He's a friggin' crime kingpin for the Sinaloa cartel. And then all of his guys, all of the guys he's got wherever they are, just arm up and they start letting prisoners out of jails. They start like smashing jails. Like the what's it called, the Gringo style? All those jails, they go in there and start like letting people out and start shooting up the streets and demand they let go of El Chapo's kid. And the government does it because they're terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys show up in like an armed, like their own army. They just roll into the streets and start blowing people away. Like 8 dead, 5 cartel guys, 3 who knows who they were. I didn't get that far into the story.
This is El Chapo's son. Like
El Chapo's
his
team,
army?
his little Sinaloa cartel army.
Oh,
just
shit.
like just destroys the city. So the government just said, well, we had to preserve safety. We had to let him go, and we don't know where the hell he is now, but he's gone. And then there's these like defense contractors and like security guys who are all in Mexico. These like hardcore like insiders who are all saying the same thing. Like, no, they probably weren't just rolling up and found him on the street. And, like, he happened to be walking into his house and like, oh look, it's Guzman. Let's go get him. They probably made a very strategic entry to go and grab him. They've been watching him for a while, and the whole operation blew up in their face because they didn't research how much violence was going to come back at them.
Yeah.
From this like strike team that he's got at his disposal. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's the cartel's power in Mexico.
Oh yeah, like it's almost like the gangs in Los Angeles. Like remember in Training Day when Lonzo says it, he goes when they're driving by, and Ethan Hawke's character is like he was going to teach me how to. And they're showing like those cops arresting all those Spanish gangsters.
Yeah.
And then he goes. No, man. He goes, those guys outnumber the cops here. He goes,
we leave them alone.
Yeah, he's like, we have to use our brains.
It's wild though, right? I mean, because you've seen Cocaine Cowboys.
Yeah.
And then as goofy as number 2 was, all of that stuff, man, like it's all even like what was that one that we talk about all the time with
it's scarily true.
It was scarily true. What was that one movie with Brad Pitt and Cameron Diaz, the bolo around the neck?
Oh yeah,
the Cormac McCarthy book.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
It's like the lawyer or the accountant or something.
Yeah, it's like something like that.
The counselor.
The counselor. It is, yeah.
I think it's the counselor. Yeah. But I think that's all real. Like I kind of feel like all of that is somewhat real.
Well, some of it, yeah, because like, you have to source it from somewhere, right? So like
there's definitely more crazy and more darkness in the world right around us all the time than we realize.
Yeah, because we're just on the surface right now, right? It depends.
100%.
It depends on how deep you want to dig, but like original ideas are not very common.
No.
So it's sourced from somewhere.
Absolutely.
So it's you take like you do your research. Okay, you know what? We're not going to go that deep, but we'll
we don't want to piss anybody off and come after us.
So yeah, so we'll dilute it to like so it's PG or whatever it is. But like,
did you ever watch that show Burn Notice?
Yeah.
Okay, Matt Nix, the guy who put that together, he was doing like a panel somewhere, and then like a Comic-Con or whatever it was, and he gets approached. I think this is how it went, but he got approached by 2 guys, like 2 fine, normally dressed gentlemen who were apparently like operators, like hardcore CIA guys. And they just wanted to approach him and talk to me, like, "Hey, so who's your source?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, where are you getting your info from?" Because like everything Michael does in the show is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even crazy. The stuff he was doing wasn't even bananas. And Nick's just told him, it's like, well, that's like, I'm just using common sense. Like, I don't have a source. I know some people. I know some FBI fellas. I know some guys who claim to have worked with the CIA, but like, I don't really have a source into how you guys do things.
Yeah.
They were telling him, like, outside of the idea of the secret organization within an organization, and probably I wouldn't even be surprised if that kind of stuff is true. In fact, I think it is true. But outside of all that, they're just talking about his day-to-day like basic spy game operations that he was doing were all accurate. So clearly, if this dude is just writing about it based on common sense, it must exist somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Because
right?
he didn't like.
He wasn't even going outlandish. Right?
No, yeah, he didn't bring it out of thin air.
No, so the sourcing, I mean, that's just a guy coming up with like ideas that are out there. It's like that theory of porn, like rule 38 or whatever it is. Like if you think of it, porn of it exists.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you think of it, it must exist in the world already. If you thought of it, a crazier person's probably already implemented it.
Yeah, because it came up from somewhere,
Yeah,
And,
your thought was able to get there.
Yeah, but it's based on something. But it's always based on something. Like very like it doesn't happen that much. Where like that's why original stories are so awesome because
Yes.
like because they're very rare, especially in movies or whether it's books. Like you'll be like, wow, I've never thought about this
I
before.
didn't think
right?
about that before. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I was watching.
'Cause there's very few outliers out there.
There are very few outliers out there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why those outliers do so well because you're blown away by that idea.
Yeah, because
I mean,
they think of things that you wouldn't even think of. Look at technology, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the outliers who pushed
Gene Roddenberry,
Gene Roddenberry,
Steve Jobs. Yeah,
Elon
you look
Musk,
at these people.
Microsoft,
Elon Musk.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's it called Bill Gates. They thought like people they do things that people thought were impossible,
Mm-hmm.
and they make it happen, right? So like that's just technology, right? But like yeah, it's just
And it's
it can
wild.
happen.
Like when you think about Steve Jobs, it's just like, you know what I want? I want a web browser, MP3 player, and a phone all in one. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Like how? It's like, I don't know. Get that guy who knows how to build screens. Get that guy who knows how to shrink logic boards,
Mm-hmm.
and get that guy who's smarter than all of us, and he'll tell you two how to make the third guy do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And so just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Songs are being able to. We can put songs in digital files. You can put them in MP3s. Okay, well, why don't we just why can't you put them on a mini hard drive and put them on a computer
Just do it.
on a phone? Like why can't we just do that?
Just do it on a phone.
Yeah.
You know what? Forget the computer. Do it
yeah.
on a phone.
So like yeah, Steve Jobs was not a technology person, but he was an idea.
No.
He was more of an idea person.
He was the Danny Ocean of that family.
Exactly.
I mean, he just decided we got to do this. Now get me 10 other guys who can put it together.
Yeah, and I want to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there.
Right? I mean, you think about just the idea of when you would turn a
year later,
page,
the iPad comes out.
it would look like a page. But even on your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about the swipe, the swipe kind of existed on BlackBerries, but he decided that, when you move your finger across the page, make an animation for it to look like a page turning.
Yeah.
Then add a sound effect.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Why? Just because it'll blow people's minds. It'll be great.
It happens.
It happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I was getting to that show, The Blacklist. It's just one of those shows that, I don't know, I'm weirdly intrigued by. I love that show. I love James Spader more than anything else. That guy just
That's what I was
plays
gonna
that
say,
character
yeah,
so well,
yeah.
right? The show is crap. All the characters are garbage.
But James
Spader is
unreal.
phenomenal.
He's good in everything.
He's good in everything. He's great in that. But there's the episode from last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever the hell's on the DVR. It's got a guy in a box that's sealed off. It's like a Lexan box, and he's just got a bomb in there. And it's the game. He's got to go in there and defuse this bomb, or he's going to explode. And there's got to be 100 people in the room watching it happen. It's a secret society type game. They just do that. That is 100% probably happening somewhere in the United States right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's definitely happening right now.
Yeah, because they have to get it from somewhere.
It's got to come from somewhere. Like
Yeah.
crazy people just exist in that ultra rich, weird society.
I agree, man.
Man, have you, on that note, have you started watching The Family yet on Netflix?
The Family?
Yeah.
I have not. No.
Do it, buddy. I just started. It's about this weird, again, secret societies. This crazy underground society of like Catholics or Christians, whatever they are, and how they're not even religious. They're not even about God. They're just about using that to get into government and controlling the world.
Yeah, I think those kind of those things exist.
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah,
exist.
because I remember I was watching an interview with Shia LaBeouf, and he was talking about how he like the story of like when he got arrested at some.
And one of the ones he got arrested at.
He was watching it like near a Broadway play, right? He just got fucked up, and he was just so drunk, and he's walking around. He's
Oh no, it wasn't the Broadway play. It was the what's his name, with Nightcrawler from the X-Men movies. There,
No, this is different.
the Cabaret.
Yeah. He went to the cabaret, and then he got way too drunk there.
Yeah, with Alan Cumming. And he grabbed his ass.
Yeah, and I think he grabbed his ass. And I think at some point he was another story he was telling that we went to some hotel, and he was really hungry or something, and he saw some chicken or something, and he was gonna eat it, but the problem was
Not knowing where he is.
Yeah, but he said like that chicken was for like this one group, and it was actually for the Bilderberg meeting.
No way.
Yeah,
He just wandered in.
he wandered in, and he's like, okay, I guess I can't touch this.
I guess I'm out.
So I guess the Bilderberg meetings are always they're true.
They're all true, man.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer. Like, I mean, we know that Skull and Bones exists. Like when you look at all the people who've passed through that.
Yeah.
Google search Skull and Bones George Bush.
Yeah.
And just see what's going on there. Google search Bilderberg and Hillary Clinton. And
Yeah.
see what's going on there.
Oh, yeah.
She's murdered a shit ton of people. I mean, that's just like weird stuff that happens, and it's right there, and we talk about it like it just doesn't even matter. Like we just kind of talk about it like it's pop culture. It's in the pop culture lexicon, but we talk about it as if it's just like a weird part of pop culture that just kind of happens.
Oh yeah.
But it's messed up that it not only happens, but we've just normalized it. We've
Oh, yeah.
normalized secret societies.
Oh yeah, there's just so much going on with your own life,
Oh yeah,
and it's
Wow,
like
it's so funny.
I know it's like you can, but the good thing is like you have to start questioning things.
You have to start
Yeah.
questioning things.
Yeah, so
I always kind of feel like it's only one weird turn. Like it's either meeting somebody or going down the wrong hallway and opening a door and being polite, whatever it is. It's never like you never really see, unless you're like a Trump or a Bush. Like the research of the Bush family, man, they're like 8 generations of just built to be presidents and control the world.
Yeah.
But for a normal person, it's literally just walking down the street, being nice to the right person, and maybe get invited to the wrong party, and then becoming the wrong person before you realize you're in a secret society and you're doing weird shit for weird people, and you're in that life now. That's what you do now.
Yeah.
And you got to stand there and think to yourself, well, how do I get out?
Oh,
How the
yeah.
hell do I get out of here? This is crazy.
I know. Yeah, that's
Why is my trunk full of blood and money?
yeah. That's the thing too. Is like just don't accept things the way they are, but live your life to the fullest.
That's your takeaway from the whole thing.
That's what you gotta do, man. Just eat your vitamins, say your prayers.
Eat your vitamins, say your prayers.
Hulk Hogan was right, man. I don't know what group he belonged to.
Man, that's wild. Hey, so it's well, he's clearly a hardcore Christian. He had the little cross on his neck. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, believe in God, brother.
Which guy?
Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a God-fearing man.
God-fearing man.
I think he's definitely probably a.
Well, I'm not sure if he was. I think he thought the Hulkamania was a sign from God.
sign from. Do you think Hulkamania was a
Well, who's more deluded, him or Ultimate Warrior?
Hulk Hogan for sure?
More deluded?
More diluted for sure. More diluted. Yeah, I think he ate his own bullshit. I think the Ultimate Warrior was probably a little imbalanced. I think he needed the right medication. I think there was probably some definite mental illness going on.
Yeah, I think he almost had like a touch of what's his face, Iron Sheik disease.
The Iron Sheik disease.
Yeah, where it's like he became the character.
I kind of feel like the Iron Sheik was like, you're right. He was not the character. He bought into it, but he still knows he's not the character.
I sincerely hope so.
But his rage. In his rage, Conan, he becomes the Iron Sheik.
Did you see when he went on when Iron Sheik was on Kenny versus Spenny?
No, I didn't.
Oh my
I know what you're talking
God,
about because I
that
did
is-
see him on it. I never watched the episode.
That episode is so funny. Like it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Does he say things like Bibala and Booby?
He's like, Hulk Hogan. I don't want to say the F word, but like the other F word, like F the three.
Oh,
letter
yeah,
word. Yeah. And he's he goes, but he kept selling it. He kept saying, he's like, I sold out Pontiac Stadium, Hulk Hogan. You fucking pussy. Like he kept saying all that stuff, and then like Spenny's looking at him, he's like at the camera,
Because they don't know, right?
Yeah, he goes, Iron Sheik. He's like, I love you. Remember like when you went to this thing, and he's like, and then Iron Sheik's like, who? Spenny, I call you Penny. Who's your favorite wrestler? And he's like, me, I loved Andre the Giant, like Hulk Hogan. And as soon as he said Hulk Hogan, Iron Sheik lost it. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
and
man.
it didn't turn out well for the loser of the competition.
It has got to kind of suck for guys like that. And having been in the position where they at Reds, I met a lot of guys, like a lot of high level musicians. I got to meet a lot of those people. But when you think about the Kenny versus Spenny and the Iron Sheik, it's got to suck when you're kind of local famous, and then you meet somebody who's really famous, who you kind of idolize in a sense, and it turns out they're not very nice, and they're going to be really mean to you.
Oh, yeah. They're not. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Never meet your heroes.
Yeah, they never meet your heroes thing,
Yeah.
especially if like an up-and-comer, right?
Oh, yeah. These guys were fighting. And they were like, they each had like a professional wrestler to train them. I've never heard of these guys in my life. And these guys were like, they were doing it out of a...
Jim Staples and Scott Bowman.
Yeah,
No, there is a Scotty Bowman.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scotty Bowman.
One guy whose name was Textbook Text, whatever his name was, right? And these guys were
Jobbers.
like... Yeah, pure jobbers. These guys were like doing it out of a warehouse in like downtown Toronto or something like that. Or like
rough.
on the outskirts of like downtown Toronto. Textbook Tex Dyson or something like that. Like, I can't remember his name. And the other guy had like a Bret Hart like thing. I don't know what it was. It was just fucking humiliating. And but the episode itself is so funny. Like just the diabolical scheming and like the diabolical scheming versus like tried and true like
Wrestling
competition.
wrestling competition.
It just came to a head, and it was fucking humiliating.
I can imagine. I mean, those guys are
There's
not
blood
somebody who I'd
everywhere,
want to
yeah.
get involved in a like a wrestling prank challenge
Oh,
to
yeah.
begin with, because it just seemed like it would take it too far.
Oh yeah, they went almost to the extreme, and then the wrestling was garbage. But like, and the guy who was judging it, he's like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do here? Like these two idiots are doing this."
Man, I have got that the old CBC Gem. I think it's all on there. The Kenny versus Spenny. I'm gonna take your advice and give that another deep dive because I remember.
Yeah, all of Kenny owns all the Kenny versus Spenny episodes. They're all on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Just type in Kenny Hotz, it'll have like all the episodes listed.
It's all there, huh?
It's all he put them all on YouTube.
It was one of those shows where the first like couple seasons when it was on, it was always on. I mean, when you turn, because there wasn't a lot to watch back then.
No, it was
early
on
2000s.
It was on CBC or Showcase. Yeah.
Yeah, so you turn on CBC and it was always on that.
Yeah.
And like 2 or 3 episodes in the afternoon, when you come home from school or come after, like right before work, is always on. So I used to watch it then, and then just kind of stopped.
Oh yeah.
But man, it got
crazier and crazier.
Nuts.
Like the Kenny versus Spenny is.
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Oh, those guys got hurt. Like those guys they killed each other.
I mean, like emotionally.
Yeah, like they did. It ruined their relationship.
I could imagine they were really rough on each other.
Oh yeah, there's been blood. Like there was they almost killed each other.
Well, the one I remember that got too much for me, and I think we've talked about it here, was when they handcuffed to each other, like who was gonna be the first one to give up the handcuff?
Oh yeah, and then they invited that one guy who's the most annoying guy in the world.
Yeah, the most irritating friend of Wolfish of Kenny, right?
First, he's Kenny's fan, but
Kenny's buddy.
Kenny knew that Spenny owed him money.
Yeah.
Or but it was like settled. But he's also the most annoying guy in the world.
God.
And he's like, yeah, you have to stay here you can stay for the weekend or whatever, right?
Well, didn't he go up into a room and take a shit? Like he had to go to use the washroom or he took like a laxative or something.
No, like what happened was that Kenny, because Kenny like goes to the washroom all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so Spenny's like has to sit next to him while he's doing it. But then Wolfish is like he starts driving Kenny insane.
Oh man.
And then then while he's going to the washroom, he looks down at Kenny, and Kenny's just covering his face. He's like Spenny, I have to give you credit, man. I can't believe you haven't gone insane.
Wow.
Then he's like, Wolfish, get the fuck out of here.
God, I will definitely give that another go.
Yeah.
I'll give that another try. That show is one of the gems that's always it's right up there. I think in my mind, without really having watched it a lot, I mean, anyone can disagree if they want to, but it's right up there in Canadian comedy with Kids in the Hall.
Oh, for sure.
You
Hands
can't
down.
do those things anymore. Like Kids in the Hall will never. I know Tall Boys is trying really hard and they're pretty good, and Bruce McCullough's got his hands in that. But it just feels like you're never really gonna get Kids in the Hall again.
Yeah, because like even like the guys, like if you watch the DVDs, because I have all the DVDs of Kenny versus Spenny, and like even on the back,
And you were a huge fan.
I was a huge fan, and like my brother and I were huge fans, still are huge fans, and at the back it has like quotes from David Cross, like all these comedians. They're like this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That is pretty rad.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's I'd watch that episode. Who's a better professional wrestler?
I will give that a go.
Yeah,
That's
20 minutes, man. I'd watch
That's
it.
pretty rad.
Yeah.
I got a lot of quotes in this book. Let's just think about professional wrestlers: Jim Ross, Bret Hart, Mick Foley. We got the old Becky Lynch and Finn Balor all in there talking about that. Names that you don't know, but I know quite well. In that thing, I think that's we've kind of hit our number here.
Okay.
We're not really going too hard these days. We got stuff here, Al. I mean, is there anything else that you want to bring to the table to finish the day off with?
No.
You know, rant off on some topics real quick.
Oh,
Dead air.
I'm trying to think here. What happened this week? No, I'm gonna see how like in the news. There's nothing really going on. Yep. But on that, I don't have anything.
Yeah, that's outside of all that stuff we talked about.
Yep.
We got nothing. Secret societies ruin the world.
Yeah.
That's
They're
it.
putting microchips in babies' brains.
Neuralink, and you want Neuralink.
Yeah.
Say your line.
Peace out.